Hi friends, and welcome back to Gardening Suburbia. My name is Amanda and I'm a gardener here in Zone 6, Cincinnati, Ohio. And our first expected freeze of the season is in 2 days. So I wanted to get in the garden with the brief amount of sunlight that I have left to show you guys my green garden before it turns brown and crispy. I don't really have anything super special to say in this video besides I'm going to miss the garden, and I wanted to share it in all of its glory right before I freeze. We are expecting it to get down, I think 32 the first night with snow showers potentially and ice, and then the next day it's supposed to get down to like 28 or something. So currently, plan is that this bed is going to be the garlic bed again. I have all of the garlic upstairs stored away right now. I'm doing a later planting of garlic rather than planting it in October, as I've done in the past. But I'm going to use the same bed, get those guys in the ground probably here in the next week or two. All over the garden I need to go through and pick the rest of my herbs, because these guys will die back with the freeze. Some of it's not great, but like there's a lot that's on here that is still good. I think that this pot and this pot I'm gonna be taking inside because I want to save the peppers on this, and I haven't had very much luck with having rosemary overwinter in my garden, and I think having it in the pot will also make it harder for the rosemary to overwinter. So I think I'm just gonna put it in my basement and let it kind of overwinter in the dark basement. I did end up finding one of the season's last peppers, so I'm gonna add this. I am actually gonna be processing peppers either tonight or tomorrow night. I have a big bowl of diced peppers for pickled jalapenos because we need more of those. All of the leafy greens are doing really well. So I have some spinaches, which I've harvested a little bit from. I put on a burger the other night. I've harvested some of this kale for salads. We've got quite a few of those guys in here. Those guys should be fine with the cold that we've got, but the marigolds, they will probably turn nice and brown. So the last look of the last of the marigolds before we go into winter. This bed has some Shasta daisies, which I had trimmed back, and they're now super full, and some, I think they're the dark prince or the black prince snapdragons, which snapdragons really like cool weather. So after the spring, I chopped them back in this bed particularly, and with all the cooler weather that we've had, these guys have just filled out so much. It could be that they make it through the little cold snap we have, because it's supposed to warm back up after this little freeze we have. Got, looks like some parsley. Yeah, some parsley. And a couple blooms on there. It's showing up a lot more red than it really is. It's really like a deep velvety purple. Of course the camera says red. It's red. So I'm gonna harvest all of my herbs as well. This I think is my cinnamon basil. This guy I'll just leave. And then you guys came with me and fixed up this bed here. I went through and I harvested the rest of my loofahs. I didn't want to bore you guys too much, but I did find out that the loofahs are the easiest to harvest when they're kind of like this pale yellow. When they're dark brown and like super light, like they've dried out a bunch on the inside, that is pretty easy to peel as well. Although I did find that when they still are a pale yellow, the innards are a light color versus sometimes there's darker spots on this guy. Okay, so all of the loofahs vines will die back. Again, I already harvested all of those guys, so that's not such a big deal. I think that really all I have left out here are beans, which some of these might not be fully matured. Got some limoncello lemon balm. It smells really stinking good. So I'm gonna make sure I get some of that. I believe that's it for down there. We've had a few more calendula pop up. This is a playtime mix. I think I got it from Baker Creek. Super pretty. Still has medicinal properties. Just that the variety that they recommend to use is Calendula rosana, which is just a variety that has more resin, so it has a stickier petal, but these guys still work. And then some more snapdragons, which if I actually had netted these guys up, they would have made beautiful long straight stems, but I did not, so they're all crooked. But I'm happy with having them in the garden. See more of the black prints. We've got some of the orange, it has orange wonder. Yeah, you can kind of see it has some orange in that. Those are really pretty. Again, they're just falling on their sides. And then the white variety. So the plus side of the freeze is that after the freeze, all of my dahlias should have died back. Oh, looks like the squirrels may have found them. I'm just gonna put some dirt on that. The greens on all of the dahlias should die back, which means I can go ahead and harvest the tubers. I don't know that it really matters if you harvest the tubers before they die back. I think them getting a freeze just makes it so that they go dormant. I did do a little experiment with that, so we'll see what happens. Looks like I've got a potato here. I must have missed one. That'll die back. And then we've got some lavender, some more little herbs, and our cool weather crops. So we've got some broccolis. I think this is a broccolini. It looks super happy. A random onion that I don't recall planting. More parsley, which is awesome. Didn't plant that. Just kind of got volunteered, which is always awesome. We've got Brussels sprouts that are looking good. This might be a cabbage. Oh no, this is another Brussels sprout. He is just super sad. Look, a slug. These are disgusting, but I'm gonna do it for my plants. Okay. We got another broccoli and a mystery one, because I don't know where the tag is for that. That might be cauliflower. And then another broccoli, of course, sad leaves. There's probably some slugs around here somewhere. But it's starting to put a little head of broccoli on there, which, if you didn't know, broccoli is just the flower of this plant that hasn't gone to seed yet. If you leave broccoli to go to seed, you'll get these beautiful little yellow flowers, and it'll just keep getting taller and taller and taller, and all the little yellow flowers will spit out everywhere, and it's really cool. But if you want to eat it, I would grab it before it starts spreading. Like the flowers will start to spread apart. I'm gonna miss the garden, guys. My face is just a little bit red because we just got back from the gym, and I am that person that turns beet red when working out. But I just wanted to sign off on the 2023 gardening season. 2023? Oh my god, it's 2024. That's been the year. We're not completely finished. We still have to take up the dahlia tubers and plant our garlic, which I will be bringing you guys along for. It might not be a total tutorial because I've done those before, but more on that later. This year has been one of growth. I am not quite sure how the next season's gonna go. I always have these big grandiose ideas of how I want the season to go, and it always seems to go a little bit differently than what I expect, which seems to be life. So next year, I know my sister and I have been talking a lot about potentially starting a flower business together. Still in talks. So I think next season is going to be a lot of flower gardening. Still going to be trying to grow a lot of my own food because I do like fresh food, fresh tomatoes, potatoes, garlic, onions. Onions are one that I'm really going to try to nail down a little bit further next season. It's been fun. It's been a lot of fun, and I have really enjoyed having you guys along for the ride. It's cool to get to know people from all over the world, as well as just kind of keep my own family in on what I've been up to. Thank you guys so much for joining me. The night before the big freeze, before the garden is crispy and crunchy. I would love to know what you guys grew this year that was a challenge for you. For me, it was onions, I'll be honest. The onions have been a challenge. They've gotten a little better every year, but I still am dreaming of I've seen people harvest massive bulbs of onions, and I that's my goal. My goal is onions, but it definitely has been a challenge. Tweaking it here and there, just as I am tweaking with garlic and pretty much everything. Everything is an experiment, and it's hard to say that one thing that works for one person in one area will work for another somewhere else, because environment and just is also different. But let me know a challenge you faced in your garden this year, as well as what your favorite thing you grew this year was. Pumpkins. My favorite thing this year to grow was pumpkins, and I didn't even plant them. They were complete volunteers, which is just so incredible. I got pumpkins in my basement. Anyway, thank you guys for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I am so grateful that you're here with me on the journey, and I will post a video up here for you guys to enjoy until my next upload, potentially where we are digging up doll YouTubers. So I will see you guys in the next one.